So everybody, welcome to our regular Thinking Thursday. And today we have Avril Quadros. I hope I've pronounced it correctly.
Yes.
She's a performer, composer, singer, and actor. But more important than that, she's a divine soul. Somebody who really believes that healing frequencies and you can heal with frequencies. I think a change of frequency, a change of mind frequency, a change of energy frequency can heal you. Avril is a very divine person. When you speak to her, she's filled with empathy and gratitude for what has happened in her life and for the people whom she loves the most. Avril, welcome, my dear. I think the topic today is fascinating for all of us. Quantum healing is a very interesting topic, and it's a not much understood topic. So I think Avril is going to give us a great insight into this wonderful way of healing. So Avril, over to you, my dear.
Thank you so much, Ma, and thank you everyone for whoever is here. I just want to set an intention for all of us today that we are open and we receive whatever we are meant to receive through the frequencies that we are receiving from the universe. And I am just merely the messenger. And I'm going to start with a video so that you can understand that everything in the universe is frequency. Because everything in the universe is energy, and our energy is measured in frequency. That's vibration. And the signature of vibration is frequency. So I'm just going to play a video. Just tell me if you can hear it.
The film you're about to see has no characters. If you spare a little of your imagination, it is a film to describe to you the effect of cymatic frequencies on matter.
So I'm just going to stop this here, but I think you're getting the idea that everything, all matter is frequency. Everything in this universe, whether it's an animate or an inanimate object, everything has a vibration and a frequency. So what these musicians have demonstrated is that they have played different notes having different frequencies, and they have used powder, they have used water, they have used oil to capture those frequencies, giving different forms and different vibrations. It's very similar to what Dr. Imato did with his experiment called Messages with Water. where they abused, some people abused the water and the crystals were very jagged and uneven. And then one group, they gave a lot of love to water. They spoke words of love to water, and the crystals were very, very well defined. And the people who spoke words of compassion and healing to water got the most beautiful formed hexagonal crystals. So this has also been done on plants, these experiments, where plants were, exposed to negative, positive, and neutral frequencies, and how they grew, they remained stunted, or they died, depending upon the frequency. So I'm just going to play another video for you here. I hope it plays.
I called up Bill Hewlett when I was 12 years old, and he lived in Palo Alto. His number was still in the phone book. And he answered the phone himself. Yes? Hi, I'm Steve Jobs. I'm 12 years old. I'm a student in high school, and I want to build a frequency counter. And I was wondering if you had any spare parts I could have. And he laughed, and he gave me the spare parts to build this frequency counter, and he gave me a job that summer in Hewlett-Packard, working on the assembly line, putting nuts and bolts together on frequency counters. He got me a job in the place that built them. And I was in heaven.
I wanted to show you the device that really is changing all of this right now. This is the world's first artificial intelligence driven, syncs up to your smartphone.
The German-born theoretical physicist who developed the theory of relativity once said, "Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics." Every object on Earth possesses what is called a natural frequency, which depends on its size, shape, and composition. 1-7. This explains how a singer can shatter a glass by hitting a certain note, which does not happen because the singer's voice has reached a particularly high pitch. Rather, it is a matter of attaining the natural frequency of the glass. As a result, all the energy in the sound of the singer's voice is transferred to the glass, and it shatters. The professional boxer, activist, and philanthropist nicknamed the Greatest, widely regarded as one of the most significant and celebrated sports figures of the 20th century, and as one of the greatest boxers of all time, used to not only match the frequencies of his opponent's training schedules, he used to do more frequently, so that when he stepped into the ring, he knew that they could never match his power, because his frequency was stronger. Everywhere in daily life, there are frequencies of sound and electromagnetic waves constantly changing and creating the features of the visible and audible world familiar to everyone. Some aspects of frequency can only be perceived indirectly, yet people are conscious of them without even thinking about it. A favorite radio station, for instance, may have a frequency of 99.7 megahertz. And fans of that station know that every time they turn the FM dial to that position, the station's signal will be there. Of course, people cannot hear radio and television frequencies, part of the electromagnetic spectrum, but the evidence for them is everywhere. Similarly, people are not conscious, in any direct sense, of frequencies in sound and light. Yet, without differences in frequency, there could be no speech or music, nor would there be any variations of color. Healy is a certified combination of innovation and technology that uses individually determined frequencies to stimulate specific areas of the body.
So I'm just going to stop here, and I'm going to move forward and explain how frequency healing works. So I'm just going to share my slides. It's going to be a little bit of a slide-heavy presentation, but then I'll take questions and we can discuss and open the panel for discussion. So basically, if we understand that everything is frequency, like Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think of energy, frequency, and vibration. And Albert Einstein, considered also one of the greatest, said that everything in life is a frequency. And what is the greatest frequency? the greatest frequency and the most powerful frequency is the frequency of love. And I think as, people who are on the Thinking Thursday group, I think we know how much of love and compassion and gratitude we all share in the group and how we help each other. And that's why everybody is always vibrating at a higher level of consciousness, right?
One of the greatest inventors of all time, Nikola Tesla, the genius who lit the world, once said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." Say you are listening to the radio in your car and do not like the music that you are hearing. What do? You change the frequency. What many people fail to realize is that we can take charge of our frequencies in the exact same way. We tend to reduce our body's anatomy down to a simplified version that consists of only flesh and blood. But everything on this planet, animals, plants, and water, are made of atoms, which produce, emit, and receive energy, which operates at a specific frequency. Everything, all our tissues, cells, organs, emotions, and thought patterns have their own unique electromagnetic fields, as do allergens, viruses, or bacteria. All things have a frequency, including you, the human body. It has been shown that a normal person has a frequency of 62 to 72 megahertz. When the body drops below this frequency, we begin to get into illness and disease states. For example, if our frequency drops to 58 megahertz, then we are likely to get a cold or flu. If our frequency drops to 42 megahertz, we become susceptible to cancer within the body. The lower the frequency, the closer we are to death.
So basically what this is telling us is that all the human beings are healthy between a certain frequency level of the cells. I'll explain in a little bit more detail. But for those of us who are coaches, not so much coaches, but for those of us who are healers, who work with the energy of a person, a lot of people here are, work in that domain. We understand the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth dimensions. Now, when we talk about frequency healing, we're not talking about the first, second, third, or fourth dimension, because those are, I don't know how to put it very simply, but when we talk about frequency, we're talking about quantum entanglement, which is basically to say that everything in the universe is connected. And in the fourth dimension, we know that time is non-linear, which means everything is happening in the present. There is no past, present, and future. These are dimensions that we have made up. As evolution, started from time immemorial, and now it's continuing. We have made past, present, and future. But in the great unknown, if you talk to the great sages and ancient wisdom, illuminaries, they will tell you that everything is happening in the now. Even when you look at people who practice law of attraction, manifestation, everything in the universe is now in this present moment. It doesn't understand past and future. And these are some, I think a lot of you would have resonated with a few books, or even may have read a few books on quantum healing and frequency therapy. PEMF is a very, very popular frequency therapy. Another example that I can give you is when you go to a physiotherapist and they use those electrodes on your body, which, they give you a slight current, and also something with gel, and they roll it on your leg or on your arm, wherever you have, or they give you heat frequency. All these are operating in that frequency dimension. So you can't put your finger on it, but you start feeling better because it's changing the frequency of the body by giving the body the frequency that it needs. So wherever the body is lacking in a certain frequency, like pain has a certain frequency. So when you go to a physiotherapist and they're giving you those frequency medications or those frequency therapies through those devices, what it's doing is it's adding frequency in terms of energy to that pain area, which is basically helping you to recover from that pain. That's the easiest way that I can explain it. But I've made a slide on what the different dimensions are. So first dimension, everybody is very familiar with the first, second, and third dimension. The fourth dimension I just explained, and for the interest of time, I'm not going to spend too much time because you can even look this up on our favorite doctor, Dr. Google. You can look it up there. So we've covered till the 4th dimension. Now, when we go into the 5th dimension, it's the plane for higher consciousness. And I think, Mark can explain this much better than me, that, this is where love, unity, and higher consciousness in people who have certain siddhis, people who have certain spiritual enlightenments, when you realize the true nature of yourself, you're in that dimension. 6th dimension is where every single probability or possibility exists. And they all exist simultaneously. So it's infinite potential in the 6th dimension. Anything can happen, right? Because it's your intention that matters. And that's where people, practice quantum healing, frequency healing. And also in the 5th and 6th dimension, you're manifesting things through the law of attraction also. In the 7th dimension, this is really, really evolved, where you have a deep interconnectedness and you understand that everything is one. You understand the nature of the universe and everything is one. So you have to be quite evolved spiritually, psychologically, to kind of understand and go beyond the dimensions of physical reality. And the 8th dimension is, again, pure potentiality, where every probability, every possibility, every permutation and combination exists, but in its purest form. So here, people, if you reach this dimension, there is no limit to what you can create. You can create and transform reality. I remember Deepak Chopra was once teaching a seminar on online, and he said he had visited India in the 70s, and there was a sadhu, and the sadhu was could spontaneously control his bleeding. So he would cut his vein here, like this is the jugular. He would cut it, blood would pour out at great velocity, because this is the main jugular. You can die if you don't control the blood. And then he would, through his pure consciousness of being in that dimension, he would just stop it immediately and the blood would just stop. And at that time, Deepak Chopra was just a physical doctor, like a GP. He was starting to be a surgeon. And then he realized that there is something much more to energy healing, to things like pranic healing, understanding the dimensions of the different bodies, understanding the energy bodies and how everything in the universe can self-heal. So even then, he changed his whole direction from being just a physical surgeon to then being a holistic and functional medicine doctor, and went on to open many of his institutions like the Chopra Well and all his other projects, right? Now, the first person to understand the importance of frequency healing was none other than Albert Einstein, who said, the future of medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. Now, I'll just explain very simply. Any kind of, let's talk about the human body. Let's talk about the energy bodies later. So when you talk about the human body, when we are ill, that means our frequency has dropped from 62 megahertz, between 62 to 72 megahertz, it has dropped, say to 30 to 40, where we get a cold or a cough, right? We go to a doctor. The doctor is going to give you some medicine. What is that medicine? That medicine is nothing but different chemicals put together, which have a certain frequency to address the ailment that you have. So they will, any cough mixture or whatever they give you, an anti-inflammatory drug or, like a Dolo 650, that medicine carries the frequency to heal the ailment, which is the bacterial infection or the viral infection that you have. So antibiotics have a different frequency. Anti-analgesics have a different frequency. So I hope I'm making myself clear, but if it's not, I can answer questions later. But every medicine has a frequency. But what about when we talk about when you go to a Reiki healer or a pranic healer or a somatic healer or whatever healer you go to, even an ancient medicine healer or an Ayurvedic practitioner? They're giving you, if you go to an Ayurvedic practitioner or a homeopathy or a Tibetan medicine doctor, they're giving you frequency medicine, which is made out of natural elements. So every plant has a frequency. So they are using plants like tulsi or whatever else, aloe vera, to heal you, to provide that frequency for you without chemicals. Now, when you go to an energy healer, they are healing you, they are not healing you. They are just a vessel for the universal frequencies to heal you. So they are a conduit. So they are allowing themselves to be a medium through which they are channeling the right frequencies through colors, with crystals, through placing their hands on your chakras, on your energy centers, on your meridians or your nadis, and they're giving you that frequency that you need. So the bottom line is, whether you take natural medicine, chemical medicine, or energy medicine, everything is vibrating at a certain frequency, and it's providing you the right frequency for your body, mind, and soul to heal. So I'm just going to show you this slide, which might make it even more clearer. Your body is composed of several layers, tissues and organs. They are made up of cells. The cells are made up of molecules. The molecules are made up of atoms. The atoms are made up of subatomic particles. And every subatomic particle has energy, frequency, and vibration. So we measure energy through vibration, and that vibration is measured through a frequency. So in traditional Indian medicine and in India, in our ancient Indian wisdom, we have identified the physical body, the etheric body, the astral body, the mental body, the causal body, and the karmic body. Okay, so again, you can go up and you can do some research on this, but I know a lot of you know what I'm talking about, so I'm not going to simply reiterate it again, because a lot of you know much more than me. So I'm just giving you a bird's eye view today. Now, in the context of frequency healing, we understand that these energy bodies interact with different frequencies of energy, because the physical body, the causal body, the karmic body, the ethereal body, every body has its own vibrational frequency. Now, when all of these frequencies in these bodies are in harmony with each other, you are in the pink of health. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, psychologically, psychically, energetically, with your relationships, with your words, with your thoughts, with your, the way you interact with people, everything becomes blissful. So when you see holy people who you admire, when you see enlightened beings, we understand we want to be like them because they're completely uniform and coherent on every single level. So we have to understand that we can attain this sort of poise and, equanimity if we understand how to align all our bodies, which is why we go to a pranic healer, or which is why we take Reiki healing from somebody, because we want to bring our chakras, our nadis together, and every chakra is controlling your psychology, your spirituality, your evolvement, your mental and physical health, your relationships, your abundance, how much money you make, your aura, how influential you are, in society or among people or in your career or in your business. So everything is interrelated, right? So that's why people practice things like yoga, qigong, because yoga is not, it's not a physical exercise. The physical poses are to bring you into alignment so that you can then move into the deeper realms of understanding, who am I, which is the existential question that we're all asking, right? So energy frequency will restore the natural vibrations of each of these energy bodies, and our bodies naturally heal. We don't need to depend on a drug, or we don't need to depend on external forms of medicine. I'm by no means saying that if you have a heart condition or if you have a bacterial infection, don't go to a doctor. I'm merely saying that when you keep your energy bodies, your physical and mental bodies healthy by using frequency medicine, then the need for you to go to a doctor becomes lesser. And also, people who are using frequency medicine, I'm going to show you a big machine that people use for frequency medicine in the West. And I think there's one now in India, and Dr. Reddy's has come out with one frequency machine for migraine specifically. So when we talk about, energy frequency, when you are going to a doctor and your cells are sick, when you start taking frequency therapy, your cells start to become healthy, which automatically means you'll recover faster. That's the beauty of frequency medicine. It will make you heal faster because it's naturally allowing your cells to absorb nutrients, to absorb certain frequencies for healing. Okay. So this is just basically telling you that there is something known as cell membrane potential. What is cell membrane potential? It's the potential of the cell to allow nutrients to come into it and to send nutrients where nutrients are needed. And when the cell membrane is healthy, then you are healthy. But the lower it decreases, it should be around minus 90 millivolts. But when it starts decreasing, then you start getting ill, similar to the video that you saw, which explained why we start getting ill. Now, this is a frequency machine which costs about, I think, 50,000 US dollars. It's called Time Waver. You can go and look up on Google. Now, what does Time Waver do? You sit in this chair, they attach electrodes to your body, and this person who's sitting here is a frequency therapist. You need special training in frequency therapy to operate this machine. Now, when you use this machine, it adjusts the frequency in your body through the use of these two little white boxes that you can see, and it's run through this AI generating app on his computer here. Just giving you an idea of how frequency medicine works. Now, the cost of this is like I said, like it's got so many, zeros on it, right? So none of us can afford this. Now, I just want to share my experience with you. I was telling Ma before the call started that I was in Dubai and I was singing recently for a big event. And I walked into a glass wall. Don't ask how. I didn't see the wall. It was very clean. And, over there, it's not like we are in India. Everybody's fingerprints are on the glass, which I think is a good thing now. But it was plain glass and they didn't put a label on it. So you're supposed to put a sticker on a glass wall in all countries abroad. But there was no sticker. And this is what happened to me. So can you see my nose is fractured? So as I'm talking to you, I have a fractured nose. Because this was, you can see my name here. And this is the fracture on the nose. So I walked into the wall and even these bones have become slightly loose at the side and this bone here. Now, why am I showing you this picture? Because when I was in Dubai, I didn't go to a doctor. I knew I could heal myself with frequency. So I sang for 3 days in Dubai in 15-degree temperature by just giving myself frequency therapy. And I'm able to function. Of course, I have to, I went and got certain tests done because, you need to be careful. And I'm not God, so I don't want to play God. So I went to the doctor, got an X-ray. I knew my nose was fractured. I got an X-ray. And then, I went to the ENT. I went to a neurologist. I did all, but everybody told me you're absolutely fine. Tomorrow, I'm just going to go and check my eyes because like I said, you need to be sensible when these things happen to you, right? But the reason I'm showing you this image is to tell you that with this kind of fracture, when I told people, even doctors, when I told them that I fractured my nose, they were like, how did you sing? Because I had bleeding, right? So how did I sing? I only use frequency therapy. And of course, I'm a pranic healer and I'm a somatic therapist. So, and I teach meditation. So I was very calm. I applied the right frequencies. And I'm here today to present to you because I honestly feel that we as coaches and healers and mothers and fathers and business owners and whatever you are, fill in the blank, we all have a chosen role, a special gift that we offer the universe. If we can offer ourselves the gift of frequency healing, and if we can offer our patients, our students, our clients, the gift of frequency healing, then, we empower people to take their life to another level. And we can slowly, slowly heal this entire planet. And that's the reason why, because I believe in it so strongly. I'm not an expert at frequency medicine. I've studied it. I practice it. And like they say, the proof is in the pudding. So I am a living example of frequency medicine at its worst. When I needed it the most, it came through for me. And I use it every day. I use it with my clients. I use it to set their affirmations, for their coaching, for their healing. So I just want you to understand now, I'm going to present to you a technology that frequency medicine works through and how easy it is to use this technology. And then I'll just end the presentation because we only have 10 minutes more and I'm very happy to answer any questions, okay? So the technology I'm talking about is called Healy. And it's made by a German scientist called Marcus Schmieke. And he lived as a monk in India. So he was already a quantum physicist. In fact, he has written a book right here, the second part. He has written 25 books, but he has written this book also. Now, what he discovered when he was living in Rishikesh. He was an ISKCON monk. He also lived in the, in Vrindavan. He was an ISKCON monk for 8 years because he understood quantum physics, but he wanted to understand deeper how energy affects all the different bodies that we spoke about earlier. And he understood that the Indian wisdom and what our rishis and sages and enlightened beings have been saying from time immemorial is absolutely true. That every frequency affects every frequency in the world. Everything is entangled. And once we know that everything is entangled, then we can disentangle what doesn't serve us. It's as simple as that. Now, he has written, like I said, 25 books. He's the founder of these institutes. And he wants to make his technology available to all of us. And he was funded by one of the biggest hedge funds, headed by Christian Hapler, called Superfund. Again, you can look this up. It's freely available on Google. You can look it up. And he came up with the time waiver machine. This machine is his invention. It took him 10 years to invent this machine. It came out in 2006. But he knew that this was not going to be able to help people because the person operating the machine needs to be trained. And who can afford a $50,000 machine? Now, these machines are available abroad. They're not available in India. And each session costs $200. And to complete a therapy session, you need at least 10 sessions. So he spent the next 18 years in research, and he came up with a small 2x2 device called Healy, which is a frequency healing device. Now, I'm not here to talk specifically about Healy. I'm here to just tell you that this technology is available. So I'm just going to show you a picture of it. This is Healy. It's a 2x2 device. In fact, I think I can show you. So it's this small. So I'm wearing it right now. It's this small. And it works on all your energy bodies and the electromagnetic field around you. Okay. So it works using frequency currents. And I'm just going to stop here. And if you have any questions, we can, I can answer your questions, because I want you to understand the importance of frequency healing and that it can be made available to anybody. You can use it. I'm using it already. There are already 5 lakh people in India who are using it. There are about close to 3 million people all across the world that are using it. Now, Dr. Reddy's has come out with a machine, a frequency healing machine, which costs 4,000 for an hour, and it's specifically to do with migraine. So if you have a migraine, you can go and take the frequency therapy at any Dr. Reddy's clinic, and you may get benefit from it, because everyone is different. So I have not tried it, so I can't say that it worked for me because I haven't tried it. But I have used this for my migraines. I've used a specific frequency for my nose. I've used frequencies for my mother. I've used frequencies for my clients to give them healing, not just on a physical level, but it's also approved by the FDA, and it's approved by the European Union as a class 2 medical device, which means psychologists, psychiatrists, therapists, physiotherapists are all using it abroad, and doctors are using it for the treatment of pain, depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, autism, learning disabilities, addictions, including internet addictions. And so I was so blown away by this that I tested it out for 3 months because they were talking to healers, and they got my name on the internet and they approached me. And I really, really believe so deeply in this because it has really, really helped me. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. I can show you many testimonials from people who have used frequency healing for menstrual cycles, for different kinds of things. I'm not showing you all these because, I don't want to, so I've blocked out all of this. But all these are testimonials from people who have used frequency healing for different things, including acne, learning disabilities, urinary tract infections. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm just going to make it open to people. If you want to ask a question, you can feel free to ask a question. Thank you so much.
Can you show that machine and we can, pin yourself? So
Yes, sure. Yeah. So this is
yeah.
the machine. Because my background is blurred. So can you,
Now we can see. Now we can see. Yes.
so now it's operating on something called a Tesla coil. So this Tesla coil, I can remove it and I can put electrodes into it. So I can put electrodes into it. And these electrodes will go onto my hand. And it will send me an individualized micro frequency depending upon what I'm vibrating at now. So it'll take your aura reading on this. So you take a picture of yourself, it takes your aura reading on this. I can do another webinar for people who are interested because it's a very deep science. It'll take your aura reading on this. So it knows your frequency through the bioenergetic field, which is what Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about, right? The great unknown, the bioenergetic field, right? The information field. Once it captures your frequency, it then knows what frequencies to give you for a bone injury or for a headache. It also has something called local stimulation, which you can put for a headache onto your ear. And it will give you, frequency for your migraines, for anxiety, for depression. Now, this frequency is a local stimulation frequency, which means it's a sustained frequency meant for anxiety, depression, or a migraine, or PTSD or whatever. This is known as IMF, individual microcurrent frequency. So our frequencies are changing approximately every 10 seconds. So it will keep on changing the frequency it's giving you every 10 seconds. So if you're at home, you can take it with these, they're called bracelets. But supposing you go out and you want to, so now I've set it on a program called coherence. So coherence basically means that I've put it on a frequency where my vibration is matching everyone's vibration in the room so that we can communicate better. So it's opening up this whole field of communication for us, because even communication is a frequency, right? So now I've put it on this Tesla coil. So I don't need to use the bracelet, and I just clip it on here. And it still works the same. So this is the device. Now, some people are bothered about radiation, right? So some people will tell me, what about radiation? Because the phone is giving you radiation. So it works on my phone, right? It'll work on an Android or an Apple. I don't know, because my screen is blurred. So I can put the Bluetooth off on my phone. So I put the Bluetooth off and I put my Wi-Fi connection off. So now I've put it off, but it's still vibrating. So I'll just show you. Because in the night when you use it, you don't want to sleep with the phone next to you, right? So you just keep your device separately with this. And now I've switched it off. So now it's off. But you can still see the yellow light blinking. Some of you may be able to see, some of you may not. The yellow light is still blinking, but the Bluetooth light is gone off. So it's very safe even to reduce the effects of radiation. Now, when the program gets over, every program has 57 minutes, 76 minutes, depending on the program. When the program gets over, this device will go off automatically. If I want to check the program, I simply go connect my Bluetooth again. I click this device twice and it'll tell me, it'll come on with the Bluetooth. Again, it will start and it'll tell me, okay, you finished so much of your program. I think Kruti, yeah, okay.
Hi, how are you? Thank you.
Hi, Kruti, I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, so quantum is a subject of deep interest. So thank you.
Yeah,
And so I have heard about Healy. I have briefly read about it. But given the cost factor, and I didn't know anybody else who was using it, so I didn't know whom to ask. So I'm so glad that you finally kind of showed the device and shared your experience. I was wondering if I could get in touch with you
of course.
on DM
Absolutely.
later.
Absolutely. Anybody who wants to get in touch with me on DM and I can help you and I can, give you a more detailed explanation, do a demo for you, because it's only because I believe in this and frequency therapy is so powerful that,
Yeah.
I brought it to Thinking Thursday. Otherwise,
Because Healy has different programs and different options. And
Yes.
now they've come up with Mag Healy as well, if I'm not
Yeah, so Matt
mistaken.
Healy is vibrating next to me.
Ah,
Yeah, and I've put it on creativity because creativity is a program that keeps you sharp, that keeps your neural pathways functioning because it's working at a 10-meter radius on the information field, which is only for the energy bodies. Healy works on your physical body. That's the difference. Mag Healy works on your energy bodies. Healy is working directly on your physical bodies and your mental bodies.
okay, that's interesting.
Yes.
That's interesting. So thanks a lot. I'll probably get in touch with you over DM.
No
And when
problem.
you mentioned coherence, because you get coherent water sticks, and I do use them.
Yeah, even I use Somarka. I use the water.
Somarka, yeah. Yeah, that's brilliant. So I was just wondering, if
And
they
so with
go
Mac
hand in
Healy,
hand.
you can even, people use it for Vastu. Like a lot of Vastu consultants are using it because it has atmosphere programs. It has classic programs for the atmosphere. You can energize your food with it, your pantry with it. You can energize your water with it for 24 different functions, all the way from kidney function to vagus function, to thalamus harmony, to pain relief, to purifying information. So it works on the same principle as a water stick. The Somarka water stick, it's
Mhm.
on the same principle because water has information, right? So
Yeah.
if I
Structured water has information, so
exactly, structured water has information. So if I put this, which has got information in it, say
hmm.
for mental clarity, if I put it on top of my water jug, the water is going to absorb that frequency.
Oh, amazing. And this they ship from abroad or India? Is it
So
shipped from
everything,
India itself?
so they have a warehouse in Mumbai in India, but
Okay.
it's all made only in Germany. They don't
Yeah,
make
it's not made in India. I'm aware of that. Yeah.
it's a
So I was
German.
wondering if they ship it because then the cost factor increases significantly.
Don't worry, now you know me. We'll all make it easy for you.
Oh, lovely, love you.
And they
Thank you.
don't
Thank you
and
so
they
much.
don't make you bear that cost. Don't worry about that. That cost you don't
Oh, that's amazing to hear. Yeah, I'll get in touch with you over DM. Thank you. Bye.
have problem,
Thank
Kriti.
you, ma'am. Bye, Shakuntala.
Anybody else would like to know anything?
Anyone else wants to ask any questions about
Avril,
frequency?
Uma, I think Uma.
Hanji. Avril, I would just like to know how these things work. I means, will you have a special class or a demo or
Yes.
something so that each one of us know about it?
Definitely. So today I just wanted to present frequency healing, as a type of healing that I've experienced myself and that I've used. And I know that it works. The most easy way that it works is through Healy. Now, I will do a demo, so you can DM me. I'll put my number on the group. I will do a demo for everybody who's interested for both Mag Healy, which is this device, and for Healy. And the reason I'll tell you why I was so, wanting to get into this, because there are very respected pranic healers like Dr. Padmani in Chennai, Reiki masters like Dr. Padmani, and also pranic healers like Dr. Kirtida Shah, who are master healers. And they spoke to me about Healy and said, you should use it for your clients because it works like magic for aura cleansing, for chakra cleansing. And I've tried it with people, and within minutes, you start feeling better. It's not something that I just decided because, it is an investment. And so I didn't just decide to get it. I spoke to many people, many, master healers who are using this technology. Lots of ICF coaches are also using this with their clients to set intentions because it's got a coaching analysis app on it also. So I'm very happy to do a demo for anybody who's interested. Bhavna,
Thank you. Thank you.
Bhavna, you want to ask something?
Thank you for doing this. So I have heard of Healy, I think, when it was launched 2, 3 years back.
Yes.
Although people were abroad, what I wanted to also check with you, because what I noticed that they used it for a couple of months, and after that they didn't really use it, or I don't know, didn't find a need for it. But so I just wanted to check with you, how long have you been working with it, and is there a reason why that might have people after a point of time they may not use it, or they does it, do they actually, does it become like what is that, placebo, like a placebo effect, and it actually stops working for them?
Wow, that's a fantastic question. So I'll take the question in parts. So the first question is, I've been using it for now almost 4 months, and it's been working for me every single day. There's not a day that goes by that it doesn't work. I use it for different things, Bhavana, because it functions on something called a blue app and a pink app. Now, the blue app is just, you can just use it for vibrating things like, it has homeopathy frequencies, it has Bach flower, bush flower, different kinds of elixirs, it's got I Ching, it's got Schussler salts. So it's basically vibrating these frequencies that you need because it captures your aura. You have to hold the Healy in your hand and it captures your aura with your picture details. And then you change that picture every week. Now, I'll come to the second question. Some people may not be seeing the effect of Healy because it's meant to be used in a certain way. And unfortunately, there are some people who are not able to explain to people how to use the device. So I've been training with Healy's, with some Healy doctors who are on the board. They are neuroscientists, they are quantum scientists like Dr. Caroline McCain and people like that, who do Healy webinars for coaches and healers. And they show us how to educate people to use it. It's not just buying the device and randomly using it. You have to have a focus, you have to have a plan. And then some people also say, but I'm not suffering from any disease. We don't have to wait for the cell to get diseased because we are aging. And so when we are aging, the cell is diseased. You know what I mean? Because disease, aging is a part of disease. So when we say things like, I'm feeling fine, I don't need Healy, it's not about that. It's about keeping your mind sharp, keeping your spirituality quotient high. So I'm here not to push Healy. I want to educate people, and then it's totally your call because I know it works with my clients and me. And I know 4 months is like a really small period of time. But if you look at it, to get results in 4 months and to heal a fractured nose in 1 day, I think that speaks volumes. Also, Bhavana, I think we have to have acceptance. Because even if Lord Krishna gave you medicine and you didn't accept it, so some people come in with an attitude of the fist closed. But I think we should be in receiving mode because the universe will reward receivers, right? I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes. I'm a total believer in energy medicine. A lot of the work that I do is related to that. So, of course, I've been trained by Ma, and
The
but yeah,
best, yeah.
I completely understand what you're saying. Vibration and energy is how we can heal ourselves. Thank you so much for sharing this.
You're most welcome, Bhavna. Mridula?
Good evening, Avril, and good evening, everybody, and thank you, Ma. So my question is very simple and straight. Does this help animals?
Definitely. They have animal programs, and I have a little pooch who's a mini Yorkie, and she has an enlarged heart and digestive issues. And I vibrate Healy for her every day for 27 minutes. And I know stories. I can send you testimonials of people on Facebook, and you're very free to join that Facebook group also, where animals who have, they've eaten chocolate or drunk a little bit of coffee, chocolate, bad stomachs, where the doctor said it's curtain call, but these dogs have actually healed. And I know that when I vibrated for Tara, her name is Tara, when I vibrated for Tara every day, she's a happy little camper. She's eating fine. She's sleeping fine. She's happy. You can vibrate it also for your plants. Anything, plants, animals, it has special programs. So it will tell you it'll show you the avatar. You can even do things like changing the energy of your office. It has, things for your office, for your building, for your home, to clear the energy in your home. So it has different uses for everything, animate objects and inanimate objects.
So as much as I could understand is that with one set of Healy, there are different programs which come along and we can use it for various purposes. Am I right?
You're absolutely right. So with the highest model professional that I'm using, you get more than 200 programs for every single area of your life, for your spaces like your office, your home, your car, your pantry, and for your animals, whatever animals they are.
And so what if we want to use it on our clients? It's
You
like
can use
most
it
of
on your
us.
clients. I have client profiles of more than 30 people on my Healy device, and I vibrate it for my clients, and some of them are as far as New Zealand.
Okay. Thank you
They
so
don't
much.
need to buy a Healy device. So I'm vibrating it through the bioenergetic field on something called a Blue app, which if you DM me, then I'll do a webinar for everybody who's interested, and I'll do a 1-hour demo on how Healy works on the bioenergetic field and on your physical body and the pranic, body that we call, the 6 energy bodies.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. It was lovely. Thank you so much.
You're
So
welcome.
it means it works just like distance healing we have in pranic healing. Same
Absolutely.
way it works.
Absolutely. That's why pranic healers are using it, because it gives you an aura analysis very easily. It tells you exactly, again, I don't want to go into detail because I don't want to disrespect everyone's time. But it's got an aura analysis where it'll vibrate and show you which chakra is out of alignment and what is the reason for that. Because it has something that it goes into the causal body and it shows you that maybe you're a victim of past conditioning. That's why you're not being motivated. And it'll also tell you whether this particular reason is relevant for you or not, and how willing are you to work on it. So for example, if I have a problem of procrastination, and so basically my solar plexus is congested and my root chakra will be depleted, right? Those are the two things that could happen. So it will tell you exactly, why do I have this reason, this thing of procrastination, and how willing am I to work on it? Because some people know they have a problem, but they're still not willing to work on it because they have some block. So it will go into that much detail, and it'll give you a PDF report, which then I can just send to the client. So it makes coaching people easier. It makes aura cleansing easier, because all I need to do is I get their aura vibration on the app, and then I just vibrate it for them. So bioenergetically, I'm sending healing all the time to my clients. So for pranic, which is why I know there are many healers, many tarot card readers, and for our own energy, I think people like Ma, who do work with people, so many thousands of people, sometimes our energy gets drained. It's impossible to have energy all the time. Sometimes we feel low, we get drained because people depend on us, and they sometimes take energy from us unknowingly or knowingly, and so we develop a deficit of energy. So when you have this device around you, like the Mag Healy, it's constantly cleaning the space around you. It's cleaning the bioenergetic field around you, so you're not getting constantly drained. And also then you have more energy to work with more clients and serve more people. So that's actually the main reason why I got Healy. I got it for selfish reasons for myself. And then I thought, oh no, I mean, it's a gift. So maybe I should talk to, this is the first and only group that I've spoken to, because I just called up. I had a strong hunch when I was in Dubai. After I fractured my nose, I sent a message to Shakuntala and I said, is there any vacancy in February? Because I'd like to do a thing on quantum healing. And she said, yeah, 15th of Feb, we have a vacancy, because I was supposed to do this in April. And so here I am. So I think the universe works in mysterious ways.
Sorry to intervene, Avril. Everybody's asking about the financial parts of it. Could you give us a rough idea or whatever for the price?
Okay. Yeah, so the financial aspect of it depends upon the model. It starts from 45 going all the way up to, it depends upon what you take, right? So the single model would be starting at 45.50, and the professional model would go something like up to 1,95,000. And then with this included, it increases. But the good thing is that there are EMIs available on every single card. And we also have holding companies which will loan you the money and they will pay for you, and then you can pay them in installments. So we've got deals with a lot of banks and a lot of banking institutions that will loan people the money, and you can pay them every month and they will give the whole money to the company. And we have superb offers. So we're having like 40, 50%, 30% discounts all the time. So now that you know me, I can make things easier for you. Don't worry about that. The main thing is, you know what, like when you put out, I'm telling you very honestly, and I'm going to end with this. So I didn't have the money to buy Healy. And I didn't have, my credit cards were maxed out, and I was having a problem with my credit card because somebody misused my card and drained 5 lakhs from my card. And I'm still paying, I was still paying for that. So I couldn't get an EMI on my card. And before Diwali, I put out an intention to the universe. I'm a big law of attraction, fan. And so I put out an intention to the universe and said, I want to get the Healy and the Mac Healy and the Tesla coil, like the highest model, which is worth 4 lakhs. I want to get it for within 2 lakhs. And I forgot about it. I just forgot about it. I went for a holiday with my mom for Diwali. And suddenly I get a call from a lady, and she says, guess what? We're having a Diwali offer and it's at more than 60% off, and you're getting everything for 2,14,000.
Wow.
And I signed on 2 clients that month for 3 lakhs, and they had just paid me. And so immediately I just gave it to her. So, the universe, thank you, Shakuntala. I think if you have belief and if you just put yourself out there and take a leap of faith, then anything is possible. So if you want to get in touch with me and DM me, I'll put my number on the group after this call, or I can put it in the chat. Ma, I do that?
Yes.
Sure, Avril, please put your
Okay.
number.
Yeah, I just wanted to get your
I mean,
permission.
it's there on the Thinking Thursday, but
Yeah,
you are in one group and the other group
exactly.
you're
That's
not
why.
there. So yeah.
So I've
Put the
just put my number, Avril, and it's 9845006343. I'd be very happy to do a demo for you. And if Healy is meant for you, and if you require Healy, I'm sure it will come into your life like it came for me, because I'm so happy. I just love this. It's my best friend. I just love it.
Okay, so Avril, one question from me.
Yes, of course.
Can it change a person's thoughts?
Great question. I was waiting for a question from you, Ma, because I'm always kind of, she's going to ask the most intelligent questions. Okay, great. So it has the ability to shift your focus to change the neural pathways of your brain to make you think positive thoughts. So it has certain programs. Can I send you some material on that so you can read it?
No, I already have a lot of material sent by a doctor from Surat.
Oh, great.
Actually, I attended the Healy seminar because I think I was telling Shakuntala day before yesterday, she was after me, please attend, please attend, please attend. So I attended that seminar, which was by Pushpa Das. Pushpadev or somebody. Yeah. So, can it change? Because we know that thoughts create things, right?
Exactly. So to answer your question, yes, it can. And I can do a separate call with you if you want and show you a particular program that they are using for people who have, things like PTSD, things like bipolar disorder. And
let's say like people who have OCD, obsessive compulsive neurosis, right? Yes. Because there was a magnetic resonance machine that was there a couple of years ago, and few of my psychiatric friends had bought it, and they were using it for OCD, but unfortunately after a couple of years they stopped using it because it didn't work on the client for a long period of time. It worked initially on the client, the patient, where the obsessive thoughts reduced. And then after about maybe 3 months or something, but the client had about maybe 10 to 15 visits to the psychiatrist. And there was a cap that was put, because at the hospital also we had it. There was a cap that was put and the electrodes were firing at a certain, same thing that you're telling, same thing was being used by that magnetic resonance cap. But after about 10-15 sessions, the client felt a little better and was discharged. But within 6 months, the client came back again with the same obsessive thoughts. So what I'm trying to say is that changing the mind, because I mean, that is, I don't know really, but I've had experience with this magnetic resonance cap at the hospital. And patients kept coming back because after that, Dr. Anjali, one of the very famous psychiatrists in Bombay, stopped using it because she said that there are no long-term results. I understand short, because you gave the example of a physiotherapist. So I understand a physiotherapist thing, but I know that there are patients with knee problems, with muscle, basic things like that, where the machine works. But let us say, see, after all, eventually it's all about lifestyle, right? Because if you don't change your lifestyle, nothing is going to work for you. One. Absolutely. And second is for physiotherapy and stuff like that, and for migraine and all this, you can help. In about 10 sessions, definitely, things will get better for the person. Okay. But what I'm saying is a thing like depression, neurosis, obsessive thought, which is really severe condition, psychosis, let's say, okay, because after all, it's to do with the mind, right? And the mind cannot be controlled by a machine. I don't believe that a mind can be controlled by a machine, because today my mind is saying positive things to me.
Exactly.
Tomorrow, the next trigger is going to come into my life and my mind will have a nervous breakdown again. Again, I have to use the machine, right? So I've become dependent on the machine, is what I'm saying. Yeah, the key is to become independent of things and to think on your own. So I'm just saying, how does the transition take place from being dependent on a machine to being independent of a machine?
I think they are so valid, the questions, and I think the experience that I have with talking to different people, like doctors abroad who are psychiatrists and like cardiac surgeons and stuff who have been working with Healy, and what I think as just a with the work that I do, that you can use the machine and it can help you, like you rightly said. But then you need somebody like a coach or a therapist or somebody to be able to guide you as to how to keep up that frequency in terms of not going back to ground zero. And this is very important for people with mental illnesses or psychosomatic illnesses. Like you said, for a physical ailment, of course, it'll work. And it's not rocket science. But for a mental ailment or for a psychosomatic ailment, like the people that probably you've dealt with and people who we come across, that's where I think you need trained coaches, therapists, mentors, healers who understand how to help the person with this machine. Because the machine will do what the machine is programmed to do.
Correct.
But how do you use it? And that's what I'm trying to do, Ma, by educating people. Because now we can do a separate call, or I can do another call and show people what programs I've used when I've worked with people. And there are programs on this which are approved by the FDA and the European Union to use it for things like mental health. They have specific programs for depression, for anxiety, for nervous thoughts, for nervousness, and for migraine, specific programs. And I've suffered a lot from migraine during I'm in perimenopause, so I have erratic cycles, and sometimes I get the most terrible migraines, but I can't even keep my eyes open. And I've used Healy in those instances, and without exaggeration, within about 10 to 15 minutes, the migraine has reduced by about 35 to 40%.
Correct. Avril, I completely understand what you're saying, okay? But for me, I need to remove it from the root.
Absolutely.
Right?
I totally
so
understand.
what I'm saying is, I mean, I have had experience with patients who have had migraine through past life therapy, 36 years of migraine. Even shampooing the hair was to give that girl a migraine headache. For 36 long years, one session of past life therapy, her migraine has not come back. So what I'm saying is that eventually machines are good.
Yes.
It's a great thing to have machines and to have this kind of technology. It's a wonderful thing. But what I'm saying is that first is there has to be some kind of longitudinal studies for certain conditions, whereby if the machine is making the person independent of the machine, then I think it's a great thing. That's really wonderful. And second is that how many sittings, it's expensive, first of all, right?
Yes,
so there are a number of sittings that the person has to take. The person has to have a lifestyle coach along with the Healy machine, so that the person changes the mindset and changes his lifestyle, changes the way he thinks, because the machine is, like you rightly said, programmed. So it is going to send you a certain frequency according to whatever the program that they have fed in the machine. Okay. But human beings are not machines. Every human being thinks differently. My reason for depression can be different than, let's say, Shakuntala's reason for depression, or kind of Mridula's reason for depression. The reason is not going to help. The machine won't help the reason. The machine will help the frequency of depression.
Yeah, so it has something called an aura analysis, where it, based on, I can't get the name of that machine which captures your aura. It was made by another German scientist. I forget the name. So, you can go and get your aura read, right? It shows you
It
what
is
your
there.
aura.
I mean, people are using it.
Exactly. So this has the same kind of technology where it can read your aura and tell you now what your aura is in terms of your chakras, or whether whether they are.
So
Yeah.
Avril, Dr. Shah, Uday Shah was also our speaker on TT, I think last year, right, Shakuntala? And
Yes,
he's a aura specialist. He has this 10 lakh machine that he has got. He's a doctor basically. 10 lakh ka machine he has bought in his clinic, and he does the aura scanning. He has a wonderful PDF report and everything he does. Okay, but he still uses past life therapy to heal the person. So the analysis, he gets it. He has been using it now for a long time. Okay, and even I also have a little software which gives me the aura of the client and all that. So I take the aura prior to the session and post the session, and there is a shift. But remember that tomorrow, the next trigger, the aura will shift.
Exactly. So I was just coming to that. So what this device will do, it will capture your aura, and your aura is continuously changing. Your aura is not going to be the same
Correct.
today. It's not going to be the same after 2 minutes. It's
Correct.
continuously shifting. So that's why it's called individual microcurrent, because it's giving you frequencies according to your frequency at any particular point in time. But the other important thing I want to mention is, why do we do these coaching analysis and aura analysis is exactly for the reason that you said, which maybe other people who spoke about Healy didn't fully understand, because they don't attend the trainings with these scientists and these doctors and healers, abroad. What this aura analysis will tell you is that you have this problem, and if you work on this with a trained specialist, then you will see a marked improvement, and instead of only using the device.
Correct. So what I'm saying is the device plus the therapy
exactly
is going to lead to the person getting well.
Yes, for anything to do with the mind and psychosomatic. But if it's something to do with pain, if it's something to do with, those can be, you can vibrate for joint pain. A lot of people, even for kidneys, people have been using this, even kidney stones and stuff. So anything to do with the body, the device works, extremely well.
Absolutely right. For physical ailments, just like a physiotherapy, we have the ultrasound machine and all that. That is completely correct. Yeah. For physical ailments, for pain, for muscle ache, for backache, all these migraine, asthma, whatever it is, it will work. But what I'm saying is, even for migraine, even for asthma, even for this, how long are you going to be dependent on a machine? So my issue is dependency. Right? Because if I'm dependent on something, then, I'm dependent. I'm not free.
Exactly. So that's why we even people, who are training for this device will tell people, now that you know what your problem is, because Healy is giving you an analysis report.
Correct.
Now that you know what your problem is, do you want to do it yourself and keep on using the device, which you can, because it's giving you relief, so you can use it? Or do you want to get to the root of the problem because you have a deeper issue? So do you want to go to a therapist or work with a coach or work with maybe a past life regression therapist like yourself?
Avril, absolutely right.
So a lot of people abroad.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so I think what you said makes perfect sense, and that's the reason why I'm talking to everybody here, because we are all coming, with a certain amount of understanding about how this device works and how we can make it work for people, in our own professions, and how we can make it work for ourselves.
Correct. Because you gave the example of Deepak Chopra. And Deepak Chopra's thinnest book that he has written on quantum healing, the very first page of that book, he says that there were two patients who came to him, and he gave the same treatment to both of them, but one survived and one died.
Exactly.
And that is what he says in the book, that it's not really about the treatment. It's about how the person has taken the treatment.
Exactly.
So I think Dr. Chopra, that's the reason, right? That people in the field of therapy are a little averse to using machines, because the human touch and the human voice and the humanness with a therapist matters a lot. So I I would say that for me, the machine cannot work because my mind doesn't work like a machine. But I'm sure there are people out here on Thinking Thursday, the pranic healers, the Reiki healers, and doing a lot of work on distance healing. I think, Avril, that machine can help them, and
Yes.
it can really benefit their clients further.
That's what
Whatever
I
help
mean,
they are
Aisha.
doing, yeah,
For
whatever
distance
they are
therapy,
doing,
yeah.
maybe it can help them further,
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I think it's a game changer for us, because for us, we're able to help many more people without getting
correct.
affected. And, you can, continuously be in touch with them and vibrate the machine to clean their auras, to help them with their chakras. So that's why
Absolutely.
I wanted to talk to the group, because I think for ourselves and for our clients, it's a real game changer.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think
Yeah.
Rahul wants to ask a question. Rahul?
Yeah, Rahul, yeah. I don't think he's there. Oh, he's here.
He's there.
Nothing.
He's there.
I had a little misadventure with my lamp.
कोई बात
So,
नहीं.
okay. So, sorry, Avril, I've just come in too late with the question.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was saying that, like last year I had, my thumb, came in between in the door, and I mean, the car just got jammed in, and it got very badly crushed. You see, and I was very positive mindset. Although I mean, the doctor had gone off on a holiday, so I mean, it got delayed the entire treatment, and like it was a nail bed injury, which led to a clotting of the blood. And like generally they have a perforation which needs to be done timely, so
Yes.
that the blood can be taken off. So it was a lot of pressure and all that. So there was a lot of inconvenience. But like the fact that like had this in my mind that I'm going to get well and it's going to be perfect. Everything is going to come back to normal and it's going to heal well. So the doctor, when he came back, he said, "Oh no, I wish I knew about it. I would have, said that it's got to be, you need to go through some sort of a little surgery, and would have fixed it up." I said, "Thank God he was not there." When he said that. So and it healed very well. When I went for the first X-ray, they said, "Gosh, it's all smashed. It's all really bad." But like with a positive mindset, it healed very well. Now I was just wondering, had it been the machine, I got this confidence that I can do it, because
Yes.
I'm with that mindset. But had it been a machine which was helping me, like the entire power would have gone towards that. I mean, I would say that, okay, that's the thing which has worked. But my own thing, the confidence levels which really did. So don't you
Okay,
think,
I
I mean,
understand you.
yeah, so I mean, I really agree with what ma'am is saying, that, like it would be that kind of a dependence would start coming in,
I think I think also it's, the mindset of a person. So the way I look at it and the way I'm, telling people how to use it is, first of all, the power and the faith comes from you.
Okay.
It's not coming from a machine. The machine is aiding you. But if your mind, like I said earlier, if your mindset is closed, and if you don't believe that you have the power to heal, your body cells have the power to heal, then of course you won't heal even with the best machine. With the best cardiac surgeon, with the best plastic surgeon, you won't heal. But like when I hurt my nose in Dubai, the first thing was, the universe is on my side. This happened for a reason, whatever the reason, but I have the power to heal. And I began talking to my body. I didn't use the machine for 6 hours because first I wanted to get my mind in order. Because if I vibrate the machine, when my frequency itself is low, how can it help me? So I calmed myself down. I distracted myself. I actually went to the gym. I was telling Ma, my nose was bleeding. I finished all that, went to the gym, and I lifted weights. Then I came back to the room, shampooed my hair, had a bath, and then I started the frequency because I was calm, I was composed, and all the time I was talking to my body. I trust in the power of my body. I command you to heal. I code you to heal. I ask you to heal. I give you compassion. I give you love. Heal me, heal me. I kept on doing that. And then I used the machine because my frequency was calm, I was composed, and I was in receptive mode. Then when I used certain frequencies for bone harmony, connective tissue harmony, it just didn't swell up. If you fracture your nose, it swells up. I had a show that evening. I sang for 3 days with a broken nose because I myself was calm, and the machine aided me and took my healing to the next level because I allowed the frequencies to come to me. That's what
I think Avril is hit it right now, right note, that even prior to using the machine, the kind of preparation that the client needs to make is very important. It's the same thing if you go in for surgery.
Exactly.
Right? You go in for surgery, you have to prepare yourself, right? There'll be a physical kind of preparation. They'll really clean you up and shave you, etc., etc., right? And then they'll tell you, be positive, don't drink water the whole night. So there is a physical preparation. There's also a mental preparation that needs to come about, and then possibly anything will work.
Yes.
So I feel if it's a machine, it's a doctor, anything will work. Even meditation will work.
Absolutely.
Like I remember when I went for Vipassana many years ago, a friend of mine had also come along, and she had this pus in her toe. And it was very, very painful for her. And she said, can I have a medicine or something? And, or, just like suturing or whatever. But the pus is really swelling up my toe. And I remember Didi at that time told her that just do Vipassana. And she, in great pain and great agony, she sat through the day. And next day, the pus stopped. And her thumb, though was swollen, kind of came back to a normal state in about 3-4 days. So anything works if you are ready, like Avril is saying. So I think the machine is just like a support system.
I think that's the way it should be used, right?
Yes,
because
absolutely.
if you're open and receptive, and you have a good support system that you don't panic, and you don't have to go into panic mode, and you're receptive, then the machine is going to definitely aid your frequency to take it to a higher level. But if you're already vibrating at 0, then nothing can help you, right?
Correct.
But ultimately, it should be also to get over that the use of the machine. That ultimately
absolutely. So you know what happens? I mean, I know people who have been using this. It only came out 4 years ago, so I know a lot of people who have been using it for about 3 years abroad, not in India. It came out in India, but nobody was using it. And I've spoken to these doctors, and they say that we don't use Healy sometimes for 1, 2, 3 days because we are vibrating already, because now our vibration is high. But when we need it, we use it, but we're not dependent on it. We don't use it as a crutch.
Yeah, otherwise it becomes like almost like a pill popping thing. You have a thing and you're taking it in.
So like I was talking to a coach in New Zealand the other day, Elena, and she was telling me, I said, I cannot see a Healy device on you. And she said, because I don't need it today. I'm fine. I don't need it. My body will tell me when I need it. My mind will tell me, and then if I need it, I'll use it. But I don't need it now because there's nothing wrong with me. I feel great. I have great vibration. I'm feeling energetic and good. And she looked energetic and good. She didn't look like so that's fine. I mean, I'm wearing it today because I thought that I wanted to try the machine out to see how it works. I'm still testing it. It's only been 3 months. But even if I was not wearing it, I meditated before I came into this. I set an intention before I came in. My main intention was, I want to serve these people, whether they take the Healy, whether they don't, whether they agree, whether they do. That's not the point. I want to serve this group. So
I think Avril, my worry is only one, that whenever there is a device, you invest in a device, right? And there are a lot of people, see, you are a different kind of healer, Avril. You are somebody who knows how to work with yourself, when to use the machine, when not to use the machine. I'm sure you will study your cases over a period of 2-3 years to see the feasibility and all that. I understand everything, okay? But there are a lot of people out there who are quacks, who will buy the machine, invest 4 lakhs in that machine, and then make people believe that this machine is how you are going to get better. It's a very, very dangerous space, because any machine, you see, it's like, and what Healy is claiming is much more than an ultrasound machine in a physiotherapy clinic. Okay, it's claiming to not only heal migraine and all these things, but also depression and anxiety and nervousness and all these mental conditions. And I think that's really dangerous, according to me, because in India, Indians are very different. Avril, you know that.
Yeah.
Okay. And Indians are not somebody who go and discover, investigate. They don't do that. They go on trust.
Absolutely.
So
They
if
go
there
on
is
blind
a,
faith, yeah.
yeah, they are just like, okay, the doctor has said this to me, I'll definitely do it and I'll heal myself. Okay. Like
Yeah.
think of a person living in Bihar, some village in Bihar whose son is having schizophrenia. And somebody tells that about this Healy thing. Okay. And that therapist is not really a therapist. He's just somebody who's bought this machine and now wants to make a buck. He will, I don't know what he's going to do to this child. So what I'm saying is people like you in India who are part of the Healy community, I sincerely hope and pray that you all are spreading the, I mean, I know you are, but others are spreading the right message. They're giving them right information. They're training people in the right way, because India is not like US.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
Indians are not, they are not like people in the Europe or America. They are gullible, they are vulnerable, they are very trusting, you know, and it's very, very dangerous. Like I get calls. I just got a call while you were talking. I muted myself. Got a call from this man who's been following me for 12 years for his daughter who's having schizophrenia. And he said, ma'am, I called you 12 years ago. You said the same thing. 12 years later, you're saying the same thing, that past life therapy cannot be done on my daughter. Ma'am, what do I do? He's in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that. But if a Healy machine is going to help this girl, great. But how much this person can, dole out the money? He doesn't have that kind of money to pay, right?
Yeah.
So both
Yeah.
ways, what I'm
Yes.
saying is that is Healy an answer to mental health crisis in our country, or should we look at something more profound, more deeper, where there is human contact, human touch, humanness that goes across to these patients? I'm not worried about the physical conditions, because that is okay.
Yeah.
I'm worried more about the psychiatric condition. I think Rahul is going to back me up on this, because it's really, really dangerous. And I know a lot of people who will buy this, who have already bought this machine, and what they're going to be doing with these patients. My biggest worry is that.
So I totally
Mm.
understand your concern. So number one is we are having a lot of training for coaches and therapists in the Healy community. And I'm getting on board to actually educate people, because I've noticed certain things where people are talking about Healy, but they don't have any idea about how the machine really works and how to use it with a trained coach or therapist. So there are a few coaches and therapists like myself who are certified in healing and coaching, who are training people on how to use Healy, and only if you think it will benefit you to take it. So what we are doing is, we are training coaches and therapists, and we are giving them the Healy devices as demos to use, and then you keep it for 14 days, you use it. Like I've got 2 Healy devices, not because I bought them. It was again something that the universe offered me. I'll tell you what happened. I got the device. It came during Diwali, and I was one of the first people to get a signature of Marcus Meekus on my pin, on the pin. It's a gold pin. Now, I was supposed to get that as a gift because I was the first one to order during that period. So the first Healy device and the Mag Healy device with the Tesla coil came without the pin. So they said, keep it. And after a week, the second Healy device with the Mag Healy came. And I said, but now I have like 8 lakhs worth of equipment. What am I going to do? I'm not paying you. They said, no, you keep it, because you're only paying 2 lakhs, but keep it. So they gave it to me as a gift. So now what I do is I take my devices, and now if it was somebody who was out to make a good buck, I could have sold it and made 4 lakhs on it.
Correct,
absolutely. But that's not my intention. My intention is I'm giving this to people in Bangalore for free. You keep it for 14 days.
You use it and get back. Correct.
And get back to me. And I'm showing them, I'm giving them tutorials for free. I'm showing how to work the Healy device. I'm showing them every day how to work it. And if it serves them, you order. If it doesn't, give it back.
I think, Avril, I'm very happy that you are the one who's talking to our group, and this video is going to go on YouTube, rather than if somebody had told us whom I didn't know, and wanted to talk about Healy, I would have definitely refused. But what I'm saying is that I'm glad that you're talking about it, because I know that your head is and your heart is in the right place.
Thank you,
And
Ma.
people who will be listening to you will get the right picture. And I think that is something that we want to do. Give people
Absolutely.
the right picture of a
Yes.
device, make them
Absolutely.
understand. And that's why I'm even talking so much and asking so many questions,
Yes.
because obviously people are going to listen to this video, need to look at so many other aspects and not only the device, you know. So thank you so much, Avril. I think it was really wonderful. And I'm glad that people are thinking about buying the device, but using it in a good manner, in a manner that will benefit your client.
I'm always there to help anybody on the
Correct.
Thinking Thursday group. And even if people from the Thinking Thursday group want to share this with other people, I'm still there to help them. And my main
Wonderful.
intention, like Ma says, is to just give you the information to help you. And then it's totally up to you what you decide. But we have to operate with jurisprudence.
Absolutely right, Avril. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
everybody.
everyone.
And see you
Thank
all.
you.
See you all next week again on Thursday.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ma, for
Thank
giving
you,
me this
Avril.
Thank you. Thank you, Avril. And thank you, everybody else, for being here. As
Thank you
always,
so much.
we always have a wonderful group coming in, asking questions, and lovely guest speakers coming in. We are really grateful and blessed. Thank you so much.